The Kansas City Chiefs just cleared over $43 million in a single afternoon. But that's not even the biggest story in the kingdom today. While Patrick Mahomes is making moves to save the future, a bombshell lawsuit has dropped against his top target, Rashee Rice, involving allegations that are hard to ignore. From a massive contract restructure to a coaching hire with deep ties to Steve Spagnuolo, let's talk Chiefs. As always, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe if you enjoy this kind of Chiefs content. So we have a lot to unpack today, but first, let's talk about the money and why the Chiefs are suddenly flush with cash. It's becoming a yearly tradition in Kansas City, the Patrick Mahomes contract restructure. According to the latest reports and verified cap numbers from SpotRack, the Chiefs have officially converted $44.05 million of Mahomes' base salary plus a $10.4 million roster bonus into a signing bonus. The immediate result? Brett Veach just created a staggering $43.5 million in cap space for 2026. To understand why this matters, you have to look at the updated cap numbers. For 2026, Mahomes' cap hit now sits roughly at $34.6 million. However, because of the way this money is pushed down the road, we see those numbers balloon to over $85 million in 2027, before settling back into the $50 million range through 2031. This isn't just accounting wizardry, it's a strategic strike. By freeing up over $43 million now, the Chiefs are positioning themselves to be aggressive in free agency. Whether that means locking up cornerstone pieces like Trent McDuffie or Leo Chanel, or going after a big-name free agent or two, the flexibility is now there. Critics will often talk about the Mahomes tax, the idea that his massive contract would eventually gut this roster. But by Mahomes consistently agreeing to these conversions, he's essentially providing interest-free loans to the front office in Kansas City to keep the championship window propped open. It's 100% a win-win, but it also increases the pressure on the front office to get the personnel right, especially on a coaching staff that is currently undergoing some fascinating changes. After hiring DeMarco Murray and Chad O'Shea to help bring back some offensive firepower and bringing back fan favorite Eric Bieniemy to help run the show, the Chiefs have made a move on the defensive side of the ball today. And speaking of getting the personnel right, the Chiefs have quietly made a coaching move that should have the rest of the AFC West on notice. Kansas City has officially hired Andre Curtis as the new safeties and defensive backs coach. Now, if that name sounds familiar to deep track NFL fans, it's because Curtis is a veteran with a resume that reads like a who's who of defensive excellence. Most recently, he was developing talent under Matt Eberflus in Chicago, but his arrival in Kansas City is actually a massive homecoming. From 2007 to 2012, Curtis developed directly under the tutelage of none other than Steve Spagnuolo. He followed Spags from a defensive quality control role with the Giants to becoming the defensive backs coach for the Rams. He even spent a season with him in New Orleans. So this isn't just a new hire, it's the integration of a coach who speaks Spags' language fluently. In a defensive system as complex and pressure-heavy as the one run in KC, having a DB coach who already knows the philosophy, the terminology, and the expectations is a massive advantage. As the Chiefs continue to churn their coaching staff, bringing in a veteran who has Spags' DNA suggests that the defensive identity isn't just staying the same, it's going to be reinforced. Another possible upside, maybe an outside perspective to get Spags off the Chamari Connor or bus train he's been traveling on for years now. But as the coaching staff and the salary cap find stability, the same cannot be said for the team's leading wide receiver. And that brings us to our lead story and arguably why you chose to watch this video. Again, hit that sub button if you're tired of hearing about negative Rashee Rice stories every single offseason, because God knows we are. We'll get along just fine, so welcome to the crew. We've spent the entire video so far talking about cap space and coaching hires, but we have to address the cloud hanging over the kingdom. New legal filings have surfaced today, and the allegations against Rashee Rice are incredibly serious. A lawsuit filed in Dallas County by Rice's ex-girlfriend, Dakota Jones, alleges a multi-year pattern of domestic violence. According to the court documents, the escalation began in December of 2023 at their shared home in Victory Park, Texas. The filing claims that Rice strangled Miss Jones and continued to, quote, repeatedly assault her through July of 2025. The details in the petition are graphic. It alleges that Rice has grabbed, choked, strangled, pushed, thrown, scratched, hit, and head-butted Miss Jones. Perhaps most distressing is the allegation that many of these behaviors occurred while Miss Jones was pregnant. There is nothing like the rush of game day, and that's why we've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to help you get started. If you love the thrill of live betting, DraftKings has got you covered. You can bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets if your bet wins. It's as simple as that. So just sign up using our promo code ACU. With DraftKings, the crown is yours. The lawsuit also claims Rice used inanimate objects as weapons, destroyed property, and would even lock her out of the house in the middle of the cold night. Now, it is vital to state that these are civil allegations, and in the eyes of the law, Rashee Rice is innocent until proven guilty. However, the optics here are undeniably poor, especially considering Rice's existing legal troubles stemming from the high-speed car crash in Dallas just last year. From a football perspective, this puts the Chiefs in an impossible bind. On the field, Rice was a revelation in 2025. He cemented himself as the definitive wide receiver one in Kansas City, providing the reliable yak threat that the offense desperately needed. At least for a few weeks after his return, we won't discuss the final couple games and the stone hands he put on display, but he looked like a foundational piece for the next 4 to 5 years. But now, the front office has to weigh that production against these allegations. Brett Veach is approaching a window where a long-term extension for Rice would typically be on the table. Does the team commit big-time wide receiver money to a player with this much off-field volatility? If these allegations are proven true, Rice faces not just significant legal consequences, but a massive suspension under the NFL's personal conduct policy, one that would likely be much longer than anything resulting from his driving incident. More than likely, his entire 2026 season would be over. The Chiefs have always maintained a wait-and-see approach with legal matters, but with a locker room to manage and a brand to protect, the decision on Rice's future in 2026 and beyond just became the most complicated puzzle in the front office, and it must be addressed very, very soon, like maybe by draft time soon. And as always, we will continue to monitor the court filings and bring you updates as this story develops. $43 million in cap space, a new coach in the secondary, and a star wide receiver in legal turmoil. It's never a quiet day in Chiefs Kingdom. What do you think Brett Veach should do with the new cap space? And how should the team handle the Rashee Rice situation? Is it time to cut ties? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest breaking news.
All right, y'all. Y'all got to check out our favorite Kansas City barbecue spot, the legendary Zarda Barbecue. They have 2 locations, one in Lenexa, one in Blue Springs. Get over there and get yourself an $11 lunch. We highly recommend Ashton Gelati sandwich, the KC takeaway. Get that bad boy with a side of baked beans and, chef's kiss. It doesn't get any better than that. And if you're feeling something a little different, you can grab their new wings. Those things are freaking amazing. And did I mention their sauce game is top tier? So get over to Zarda Barbecue because they're legend. Wait for it. Dairy. And let them know All Chiefed Up sent you their way.
We'll see you on the next one. Go Chiefs.